Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the second edition of the GDSC-UI TED Talk series. My name is Victoria Ayodeji, and I am the lead for the Google Developer Students Club, University of Ibadan. So if you are just joining us, please introduce yourself in the comments section below. Your name and your location. Let's get to know you before we get started. Thank you. So the first 5 people to join this session would get a GDSC swag. So if you are on this session right now, please message me on WhatsApp. Okay, we are waiting for your response. If you are on, if you are joining us live from YouTube, please introduce yourself, your name and your location. Also, invite your friend to join the call. We are starting now in the next 3 minutes. Yeah. We are starting by 7:05. Please, if you are just joining us, introduce yourself in the chat section, your name and your location. And if you are one of the first 5 people to join the YouTube live, please DM me on WhatsApp so you'll get your GDSC swag. Thank you. Please invite your friends to join this session. We are starting the next one. Okay, we are starting now. Welcome everyone to our second episode of the Tech Talk series GDSC-UI. My name is Victoria Ayodeji. Like I said before, I'm the lead for GDSC-UI. So if you are just joining us, please introduce yourself. Be starting now. So Layo is one of the core team member of GDSC-UI. He's going to be reading the citation of our speaker before let's start off. Kausarat from University of Ibadan. Welcome. Layo, are you there?
Yeah, good evening, guys. This is the voice of Olumide last year.
You are Kwamilerin from OAU.
And I happen to be one of the courts.
Good to have you here.
Victoria, can you hear me? Hello, Victoria, can you hear me? Hello, Victoria, can you hear me?
Omalaya, are you there?
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hi, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. Hello, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, just indicate in the comments that you can hear me. Hi. Hi, Iwande. Hi, Peromi. Hi, Eniola. Hi, Adipe. If you can hear me, just indicate in the comment that you can hear me. Just type growth in the comment if you can hear me. Quickly type growth in the comment if you can hear me. I presume no one is online or no one can hear me right now. If you can hear me, type growth in the comments so I can be sure you can hear me.
Apologies for the break in transmission. So let me just read our speaker citation now. Olumide, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've been speaking since I didn't know nobody can hear me. So
Oh wow.
sorry
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's marketing professional and product analyst. It helps brands, fintech, e-commerce, and crypto tech grow their active user communities, drive their North Star, and optimize customer satisfaction through content marketing strategies and data-driven growth hacks, on marketing, and lean growth strategy. He believes brands can optimize their marketing funnels to convert onlookers to brand ambassador through engaging content, delightful experiences, and data-driven innovations. Olumide Adaramoye has been certified in digital marketing by Google, Facebook, Product School, USA, Digify Africa, and the CXL Institute. He is currently the co-organizer of Product School Ibadan. Yeah, thank you. So you've just heard the citation of our speaker. I'm going to be calling our speaker to start the session now. But first, show your excitement by dropping clap emojis in the chat section, right? Thank you. So Lumide, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Victoria. Please confirm. Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Glad to be here. So good day, everyone. Either you're in Nigeria or you're in, I don't know, UK, US, wherever you are joining in from. So let me start with these GM friends, right? And today we are basically going to be diving deep, right? And trying to understand what growth hacking is and basically how to build product that sells, right? That sells themselves. I think the first question would necessarily be even can we actually build product that sells themselves, right? Through these sessions, we would find out basically, right? So I think I need to see some excitement in the comments. I don't know if anybody's with me. So if you are with me, please just quickly type growth in the comments. Just type growth in the comments if you are with me. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So a quick one is just a quick question of when you hear about growth hacking, right? What exactly comes to your mind when you hear the word growth hacking? Oh, awesome. Thank you, Pamela, for that. Thank you, Eniola. I think Pamela and Eniola has been very active. Right. Okay, so growth hacking. What comes to your mind when you hear growth hacking? Anybody can try to take a jab at that. Okay. So let me just quickly run through what growth hacking is before we continue. Right. We are talking about product that sells themselves, how to build product that sell themselves. All right. First, I would say growth hacking is basically building a system that enables you to get and keep customers at high skill to cost ratio. This simply means building a system into your product, right? Into your product, into your business, into your startup that enables you to, number one, get or acquire customers and keep them, right? And at a high cost, as a high skill to cost ratio, that is. as you get and keep more customers, right, you are not spending as much, right, to keep them. Right, you keep on, as you get new customers and as you keep them, you basically keep on having this high skill to cost ratio. More users for you doesn't come at extensively extra cost, right? And there's a sort of loop by which you are able to keep on getting new users, right? Keep on acquiring new users and also keeping them. That's what the concept of growth hacking basically entails, right? And I'll not you quickly running us through different examples of growth hacks, right? So the first would be Hotmail. I don't know if anybody, our generation is not necessarily acclimatized or accustomed towards Hotmail, right? I think most of us are quite used to Gmail, right? But before Gmail gained limelight, right, there was Hotmail, and Hotmail a became quite popular due to one of the few good hacks that they implemented, right? And let would also be running through Dropbox to understand how Dropbox was able to develop a good loop, a good system by which they basically scale their product, right? They scale the Dropbox product and they're able to get new users consistently at a high cost, as a skill to cost ratio, right? And we'll also look at WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp, Carrywise, our very own Carrywise, and also Bundle, right? Bridge Club, basically. All these startups, one thing unique with them is that they've been able to apply consistently a couple of good hacks that has given them high scale to cost return, right? So for each time they implement different data-driven growth hacks, they are able to bring in new users. They're able to keep their users at a considerably high scale to cost ratio, right? So first for Hotmail, right? In Hotmail's Hotmail basically implemented a simple growth hack by which for every user that uses Hotmail, they basically advertise the product. This is just a preliminary to be able to dive us into growth hacking itself. So when Hotmail started, right, as a email delivery platform, right, they basically created a simple sub snippet. For each mail you send, you see it was sent from Hotmail, right? You see a clickable sub snippet at the end of each mail you send that it was sent from Hotmail. Just like when you create a website and you see at the footer of the website now, you see created with love by this particular organization, created with love by this particular organization or this particular company. Hotmail in the early days, right, had that kind of implementation, and it was the very scarce. It was very scarce then, right? Very few people had that kind of implementation. And what it did for them was every email sent was basically an advertising material for them, right? That way, every user that sends an email to another user basically advertises Hotmail to them, right? And makes it easy for them to even click on the link, click on the snippet, and it directs them to the link to register on Hotmail. That way, once they click on it, they get registered on Hotmail, and they are able to also send mails to another person. When they send mail to another person, right, the mail basically is also another advertising material to the next person they are sending the email to. That created a sort of viral loop for Hotmail, and within a short period of time, I think about within 6 months, we are able to gain over thousands of new users who were actively using Hotmail to send emails. Right, that's one of the simple good hacks that Hotmail implemented on their end. Right, for Dropbox. So also Dropbox is a basically a online storage platform that enables you to basically create online storage for yourself, and you can have up to terabytes of online space to store your data, just like we have Google Drive now, right? That's how Dropbox is, right? And so when Dropbox was in very early stage and they wanted to see how they can create beyond their advertising, they wanted to see how they can create a system that enables them to get new users, acquire new users, and also keep them, right, for long. What they did was to implement a simple growth hack of gifting, right? So when you register on Dropbox, right, for every registration you do on Dropbox, you can easily share with your friend, invite your friend to join Dropbox. And when your friends join Dropbox, what happens is that the Dropbox gives you 500 megabytes free data storage for you to store data, right? They give you 500 free megabytes data storage for you to store data. Well, now that may sound quite small, right? But in the early days of 2000s, right, having 500 megabytes of free data to store, right, to store your file and your data was a big one, right? And so by doing that, they basically incentivize their audience, they incentivize their users to basically share to other users, and that way they created also a viral loop for themselves, whereby each new user that comes is able to bring at least one more new user, right? WhatsApp example is quite simple. Everybody has WhatsApp, right? We have everybody now has WhatsApp on their phone. But before WhatsApp became quite ubiquitous, whereby everybody has WhatsApp on their phone, right? One of the things WhatsApp did was number one, they used they made a smart move of making use of their phone numbers of people's phone numbers as their user ID in code. So everybody that has a phone number, once you have a phone number and you get registered on WhatsApp, anybody that has a phone number also has access to message you on WhatsApp. So that's first simple implementation. That it was a smooth growth hack that made getting on board WhatsApp as simple as possible. Right? It's also made getting on board to your friends, communicating with your friends, which is like the key value of WhatsApp, as smooth as possible. So everybody could easily download WhatsApp, like register on WhatsApp. And once they register on WhatsApp, your friend that you're able to easily connect with your friend that has WhatsApp. Just the way we are Facebook also, we had Facebook initially do that, whereby you're able to see your friends of friends, right? With WhatsApp, so everybody within your contact that was on WhatsApp basically became your WhatsApp contact. That was the first thing they did, right? And the second thing they did, which was quite superb for them and drove massive good for them, was that you can easily invite people to WhatsApp, right? So by sending once you download WhatsApp, right, you guys get registered on WhatsApp, you could easily send your contacts, everybody in your contact, with the click of two buttons or with just 2 clicks, 3 clicks, you could easily send over 250 people across your contacts to an invite link to join WhatsApp. And once they join WhatsApp, they also could easily send to as many as possible people on their contacts to join WhatsApp and start messaging. That way, WhatsApp leveraged community of friends, right, to keep on growing their platform, such that if I download WhatsApp, there is 50% or even the 50% possibility of my friends joining WhatsApp, because I would definitely want to chat with them on WhatsApp, send them an invite link easily via their contact list, via my contact list, and they also share to their friend, and their friends come on board. That way, WhatsApp also created a sort of viral loop, right, on their platform, and they're able to scale within a short period of time. So I'll come back to the other examples, but for now, I don't know if anybody has I think we've all gotten a good grasp of what growth hacks could be, right? So if you're following me, if you're still with me, just quickly type WhatsApp in the comment. Just type WhatsApp in the comments. If you are with me, just type WhatsApp in the comment quickly. Thank you. So moving on, I'm just going to be taking us through different stages of growth in a startup, right? So we have the seed stage, which is where we have idea. The startup is is still like an idea phase, is in the idea phase, right? We have the vision and mission. The founders have like a good example of what their vision and mission is, and they also have the problem they are solving, or the value they are trying to deliver. They have like at least good knowledge of the value they're trying to deliver. Thank you, Aniola, for following. They have a good knowledge of the value they're trying to deliver. So the seed stage basically captures both pre-seed and seed stage. Well, so these words are just like pseudonyms that are used to represent the different stages of a startup growth, right? So we have the pre-seed stage, the seed stage, which is mentioned here, right? Then we have different series stage like early growth, Series A, Series B, Series C, Series D, and the rest, and on and on. But largely, right, every startup falls within 3 stages of seed, right? Then startup. When I mean startup, I mean like, okay, they are actually starting up. Then growth phase, right? So just as I liked it here, seed stage involves the idea, the vision and mission being clarified, and the problem well defined. While the startup stage is where you have developed the MVP, right? The MVP is well developed now, and they have achieved product market fit already. So you've developed the MVP, you've achieved product market fit. While in growth stage is basically startups looking to scale, right? They're looking at scaling and expansion. Scaling in the sense of moving from maybe 50,000, 500,000 users to 5 million users, moving from within Nigeria and within Africa to even outside of Africa and to the ends of the world, right? So those are the three stages of growth within a startup in some way. Moving on to this. So for every startup, right, in order to drive growth, right, and in order to move them from being just early stage and seed to startup and also to growth stage, right? Most in growth hacking, what we do is to remember growth hacking is basically building a system into a product, into a startup, into a business that enables us to get new customers and keep them at a high scale to cost ratio, right? And one of the structural frameworks for doing this is something known as the pirate funnel. So the pirate funnel was developed by David McClure of Fortune 500, right? And basically is a simple funnel that enables the growth hacker, right, which could be you, which could be I, to basically think through how to drive growth, right, for their startup and move their startup from being in the seed stage, right, or even from being just an idea, right, to being a seed in quotes, right, to move into the seed stage where we have their MVP defined, to move into the startup stage where we have both product market fit already achieved, right? Then now moving and becoming a good stage company that starts scaling across different places, right? So the pirate funnel is known as the AARR funnel, right? And it involves acquisition, right? Activation, revenue, retention, and referral. Once again, acquisition, activation, revenue, retention, and referral. So I don't know, anybody quickly, can you just quickly drop one or two, or what do you think any of these things could be? What could acquisition be? What could activation be? What could revenue be? What could retention be? What could referral be? Very quickly. Okay, while we wait, I'll just quickly go straight. So as a growth hacker, or as a founder of an early stage company looking to drive growth for your product or for your startup, right? Acquisition stage is basically you looking at how can you acquire new users, right? How can you bring in new users into your product? How can you bring in new users into your platform? How can you bring in new users into your startup, right? And generating product qualified leads. So product qualified leads is basically their lead. A lead is someone that is a person that is interested in your business, right? A lead is someone that is interested in your product, is interested in your business, interested in your startup, right? And so a product qualified lead and is someone that is interested in your product, right? And has gone through your product basically, right? So they are interested in your product and they have experienced the first-hand value of your product, right? By either downloading and maybe using the product for the first time, right? And now because they've experienced that value, in they're interested in paying for the product, right? So acquisition basically acquiring new users and generating product qualified leads, right? While activation is the user experiencing the value your product uh, delivers, right? And basically moving from just downloading the product or using the product for free, if you're operating a freemium and a premium version, right? Just downloading and moving and using the product for free to actually paying for the product. That's activation. Activation is when the user, right, that has downloaded your product has signed up, now pays for the product. So acquisition is basically the user downloading your product, right, or signing up on your product basically, right? And activation is the user now paying to use the product. If it's a premium or premium, right? Or if it's depending on the model, the user doing things that are valuable within the product. So for an Uber, the user ordering his first ride, right? For maybe Paystack, the user making their first transaction. Those are key moments of value for both the user and the startup. So getting your user to start taking those key action, those key value action is known as activation, right? While revenue is basically seeing how you can get your users to pay for the product and keep on paying for the product, in quotes, right? So getting your users to pay for the product, getting your users to spend on the products, basically generating revenue from the product, right? So not all startups that have new users definitely get revenue from their users, right? But the revenue stage is you thinking around how you can generate revenue from your users, right? It could be either through advertisement, it could be through the users subscribing to the product, it could be through the users paying for the product, it could be through the users through commissions on the product, right? While retention is how you can keep the user, how you can keep the users to keep coming. So basically, bringing about recurrent users, ideating on how you can bring in recurrent users to keep on using your platform, keep on engaging, keep on taking value actions within the platform or within the product, right? And referral is the sweet spot of users that are falling in love with your product becoming ambassadors for your product, whereby users that have experienced the value of your product basically now brings other users into using the product, right? They invite their friends, they invite their colleagues to try out the product. It's just when you tell your colleague about you saving on PiggyVest. By doing that, you are referring someone else to use PiggyVest or use Calories or use RiceVest or use whatever platform, whatever well tech platform you use, right? So these 5 stages are the major stages that a growth hacker thinks through, right? The basic stages a growth hacker thinks through on how to basically create a product, right, that would end up selling itself, that will end up bringing more people, right, to use it, that will end up self-perpetuating itself. Yep. So here is your startup journey, right? Basically, the idea from the founding team to the idea stage, to product market fit, then to growth, right? And now I'm just going to use a sort of example of how to think through growth, right? A simple guide to basically acquiring your first 1,000 customers, right? And it's basically asking yourself a couple of questions, right? And thinking through these different stages, right? So now you have a startup, right? You have an idea, you have an idea first, you validated your idea, right? And you feel there's something that this idea can move from just being an idea to like being a product, right? So the stages you go through basically, right, to grow your product, to grow your idea from being just an idea to actually being an MVP with people who have an MVP with not just idea alone, right? But people have interacted with what we call the minimum value product, right? The minimum viable product, and they are willing to even pay for the product, right? So first would be you asking the question of who exactly are the customers, right? Who exactly are the people that would be interested in the value you're trying to offer? Who are those that have this particular pain point, right, that your idea is trying to solve? Who are those that would be interested in the excitement that your idea wants to bring in, right? So your idea can either be solving a pain point or delivering an extra value, or is changing, um, uncovering new values for people, right? So there are some ideas that are not necessarily even solving. They're not necessarily solving a painful problem, right? But they are opening people to different opportunities, right? They're opening people to new opportunities, right? So you want to ask yourself, who exactly are those that are the interest? Who are these kind of people that will be interested in this, right? Then the next question would be, what are they trying to do, right? So now you have the idea, right? They have the idea. If you have the idea, you have told them, okay, this is what I want to solve for you, right? But what is that? Not beyond what you want to solve for them. What exactly do they want to do? What is their pain point? What are their um what's the problem to them? How is the problem to them themselves, right? Not necessarily what you classify the problem as. So an example would be initially when Instagram started, right? I think it was Instagram. When Instagram started, Instagram was more of a platform for you to, I think it was for you to store videos and to store pictures, right? And to also, I think, share your location also, right? But when they started, that was what they started with. But as they moved on, they realized that people were sharing more videos, they're sharing pictures and sharing videos more, rather than using the other, rather than just storing the pictures and videos. They're actually sharing the pictures and videos more. And so they decided to do what's called a pivot, and they pivoted to be focusing on that aspect, right? So what you want to do at this what you have to do is to understand what your own customers, what your prospective customers are trying to do. What are the users trying to do? Not what you necessarily think they want to do, but what are they trying to do? What problems are they trying to solve? What jobs are they trying to accomplish? Right. Number three would be, okay, where are they? Right. Where are they congregating? Right. Are they congregating in the market square? Are they online? They are online. Where are they online? Are they just line follow in Twitter on Twitter? Are they on are they within different communities, right? Are they in different influencer communities? Are they under different influencer statuses or influencers posts? Where exactly are they, right? Then how can I ascertain demand fast, right? So you want to also know, how can you be sure that these people are not just having this problem, or they have a particular problem they want to solve? How can you ensure that you know that they are willing and able to pay for the product or for the platform, or they are willing and able to transact if it's a transaction, if it's a payment processing product? Are they how can you be sure that they're willing and able to transact, right, in the volume that would bring enough revenue for you to be profitable, right? So that's something you also want to ask yourself, right? Then also would now be second to the last stage will be, how can I understand them as fast as possible, right? So how can you, now you know, you have some assumptions and some hypotheses about who your customers are, right? The jobs they want to be done, the problems they want to solve, right? Or the problems they actually want to solve, not necessarily what you want them to solve, right? You have an inkling to where they are, right? And you have created an offer on how you can, an offer to basically know who is just going to be an interest alone, and who is going to be actual, end up being a customer who would be willing to pay or to take value actions on the platform, right? You have created an offer for that. You have created an offer is basically an offering for an offering of value, right? Asking in exchange for them to take an action. So you're offering them value, you're offering them a particular value, and also requesting that they take an action. That's basically an offer. So you are presenting to them something valuable, right? An action, something valuable, something of importance to them, right? And we are expecting a return action from them, right? And one of the best ways to understand them fast, to actually test all these assumptions you've had, is to create an MVP. So the minimum viable product is basically the simplest possible solution, right? The simplest possible version of your solution that can deliver the value you want to deliver to them, you want to render to them, right, in the simplest way possible. So if you're looking maybe at logistics and delivery platform, right, you're looking to create a logistics and delivery startup, right, your minimum viable product will not be a car, right, will not be even a bike that has um, a package um, box with on it, right? Your minimum viable product will most likely be a bicycle, right, that can be used to move people's orders from the source to them, basically, right? For a payment processing platform, most likely your minimum viable product would be you connecting Paystack or a Flutter Wave, right, to a simple landing page just to be able to allow people to process their payments, right? For a, I don't know, anybody online that wants to just give me a product for me to deduce a minimum viable product for, or an idea per se. Okay, so in case you are maybe a crypto platform, right, or a processing platform, a minimum viable product would most likely be you maybe plugging in with that API into a landing page and seeing if people would be willing to process their crypto on it, or even you just doing over-the-counter transaction for people, right? That's a good minimum viable product to test your idea, right? For Kuda, okay, I think I mentioned Kuda. So Kuda is like a digital bank, right? So their minimum viable product would most likely be them connecting to a couple of APIs, right? A simple landing page that connects a couple of APIs and tells you, oh, you can open a bank account for free, right? So the more people do that, that will help them to know, okay, I can actually, people actually want this product, right? People actually want virtual accounts. They want to be able to do all what they do physically. They want to be able to do it digitally also. Like that's the essence of the minimum viable product, is to test all the assumptions we've had, right? Lastly, you talk about your channels. So now that you have a good idea of who your possible customers are and you have tested it and you have found it to be true, you know what they are trying to accomplish. You've tested it via your minimum viable product and you have found it to be true. Like you know where they are, right? You tested it and you found it to be true that okay, this is where they are. You've created an offer and you have been able to ascertain the demand that okay, these guys actually have money to pay or they can take value actions, right? Now, what you want to be doing is looking at how can I reach them faster and cheaply, right? So basically, how can you reach them faster and cheaply? That will be the next consideration, right? As a founder of an early stage startup or as a growth hacker looking to hack growth for your startup, right? How can you reach them faster and cheaply? So one way to be able to reach people faster and cheaply is through what we call channels, right? So channels are the different platforms or the different platforms that um, your congregation is. Let me put it like that. So channels are different ways of reaching out to your congregation where they are, right? So channels are basically mediums and media through which you can reach out to your congregation wherever they are. So if your congregation is in the marketplace, right? So possible channels would be through the market associations, right? Having one-on-one interaction with the market associations, to be able to communicate with the market women or the market men, right? If your congregation is outside, is online rather, right? A good channel would be different social media channels, like different video streaming channels and whatnot, right? If your congregation is say um, even now we have metaverse, right? So if your congregation is saying metaverse, one of the good ways to reach them would be through hard channels on the metaverse, right? If your congregation is located, say in I don't know, in offices, different offices, right? One of the good ways to reach them would be through either LinkedIn, right? Either through LinkedIn or through different professional bodies, email, right? Or through LinkedIn, different professional bodies email, or through banners, right? Banners along the way of their works, out of home ads are along the way of their work. So basically, channels are basically the medias, the mediums, the platforms through which you can reach your congregation where they are, right? And one thing you want to do is to meet them where they are, not necessarily not them meeting you where you are, right? So you want to go out to where they are and be in their faces, right? Be in their faces, presenting your offer to them in the way they understand, right? Presenting your offers, presenting the pain points that they experience, the jobs you want to be done, presenting that you can actually fulfill this, you can fulfill this for them, right? In the simplest way possible. You want your communication to be as smooth as possible, your communication to be as simple as possible, right? And so just to run through channels, content, community framework, right? Your channel is where you can reach your different congregation, right? And the content is basically what you're telling them, right? So the different forms of media to attract, educate, to engage and delight your audience, right? And the community is now where, so now your congregation is located somewhere, right? Now you've moved through your channels, by reaching them through the channels, right? You've been able to deliver content to them, right? Content spans across advertisement, different offers, radio jingles, TV ads, and the rest of them, right? And now you move them from through that content, you move them from where they are congregating. You now move them to your own platform, right? Your platform would be your product, right? They become users of your product now, or they join your wait list, right, or they join your email list. So you move them from basically where they are congregating into your own community, right? Because now you are giving them a sense, and community is basically a group of people that have the same unique identity or have something that is similar to each other. And what your users have similar to each other is that they use your product, they have similar job stories that they want to accomplish with your product, right? Or they have similar pain points they want to solve with your product, right? So the work of your work is the essence of the channel community framework is basically to move your congregation from where they are congregating into your own product, right? Into your own community, right? And the essence is to be able to create that sense of belonging for them, right? A sense of belonging for them, a sense of peer-to-peer interactions for them, because every woman wants to be able to share. They want to belong to a community. They want to belong to a place whereby people can relate with them, right? They can relate with what is going on. They have people that can relate with their struggles, or they have people that are excited by the same things they are excited about. They have people that want to do the same things they want to do, right? So the channel community framework is just to bring your users from where they are congregating, bring people, right, strangers from where they are congregating, to now become a group of people that have this unique identity, which is the pain point, the values, and also the fact that they use your product, right? And the essence of community is to foster that, right, in order to keep them, because people will stay where they feel loved, they feel they can where they feel loved with people they trust, with people they like and also like them, right? And also they would also bring in other people, right? When they feel loved, when they feel liked, when they feel trusted, and when they feel their problems are being solved, right? That's the essence of community. Community is to bring more people, right? Is to keep your current users and also to bring more users. That brings me to okay. These are some recommended things. Okay, so that brings me to this. So product-led growth, right, is the concept of you utilizing your product, right, to bring in more users to your product. So it's the same thing. Is basically the same concept or a sub concept under growth hacking, right? And it largely utilizes the concept of community a lot, right? And that concept of community is leveraging the power of gamification, right? So leveraging the power of gamification and also bringing about advocates to advocate for your product. Running through it very briefly would be gamification is the process of you trying to create exciting and delightful experiences, right, for people within your community by providing them with value, right? Providing them with value, with fun, with relatable experiences, right? With competitive experiences. So um, people like to compete, right? And they want to feel rewarded. They want to be rewarded when they actually compete and win, right? So you want to provide your community with competitive experiences, with delightful experiences, with relatable experiences, a lot of fun, right? As related to your product, in order to now you have acquired them, in order to keep them, right? In order to keep them to keep using the product, right? And also in order to bring in more people to use the product, right? And the rise of what occurs when gamification is done right within the communities, it brings about more people advocating for the product. Advocating means telling others about the product, telling people about the product, getting excited about the product, and sharing the product to other people, to their friends. Some people even like to become like the way you have preachers, right? They become preachers of the product. They tell many people about the product. Why? Because they have enjoyed the product, they've been excited by the product, they've experienced delightful experiences, right? And now they are now propelled and rewarded, sometimes rewarded, to tell more people about the product. Right? That way, more people get to know about the products, right? And it creates a scenario whereby we feel the product is selling itself, right? But before it gets to this stage of the product selling itself, right, a lot of things have been put in place. A growth hacker has thought about the different stages, right, for driving growth through the AARR funnel, right? The growth hacker has thought through the different stages of growth for the startup. The growth hacker has thought through the different questions that we just highlighted, right? And now the growth hacker has also thought through the different content and community to create, right? And the growth hacker within the community has also explored different gamification processes and different gamification techniques to make members of the community excited about the product, feel loved, right? Feel trusted, right? Feel they can trust the product to deliver its value, and also bring others into it. Now, to just wrap up, I'll now be talking about how Carrywise Bundle and Brick has been able to do this for their startup. So, taking Carrywise as an example, right? One of the few things Carrywise has done in the couple of years, right, to drive growth for the startup is through their community, right? So, anybody here within who is a Carrywise user will be very, very much familiar with the Carrywise personnel known as Okwe, right? So everybody has a very good understanding of who Okwe of Carrywise is, right? And there's also still the mysticism as regards the real identity of Okwe. However, Carrywise has been able to craft a good personnel through Okwe such that everybody relates with Okwe. Everybody feels Okwe is that senior brother or senior sister that gives them advice as regards how to go about their finances, right? And also gives them advice how best to go about their um, personal finance, like in the most relatable way, right? And also, Okwe engages with them, right? Creates delightful experiences for the members within Carrywise, and that way they are all encouraged, right, to tell more people about Okwe, who Okwe is. That's number one. Another thing is, I don't know, there, I think it was in 2018, whereby Carrywise created this the different um the end of the year report, whereby they created different personals for people based on their savings culture over the year, right? That report alone helped it serves as a sort of reward for people and also a sort of identity for the members of the Carrywise community, right? Because through the reports and through the different badges that was given, like members of the community had like status. They had like different status within the Carrywise ecosystem. Let me put it that way, right? And so people that did not necessarily get maybe good badges like Jack, like good that did not get good badges were incentivized to get better, right? They're incentivized to get better um, the next year, right? Another thing Carrywise has done is also through their gamification, whereby if you go to Carrywise profiles, you will see a couple of badges for when you reach a particular milestone within Carrywise. So maybe when you refer Carrywise to like 3 people, 4 people, or when you save this amount of money, right? So basically, by doing that, they created a sort of gamification structure, right, whereby people feel they are aspiring towards something. People are basically aspiring towards something. So when I get on the Carrywise platform and I see, oh, I get this particular badge, I unlock this particular badge when I do this, when I do that, when I do this, right? I feel motivated to want to share to my friends. I feel motivated to want to save on the app. And that way, right, I'm basically growing the product, right? Through my constant usage, right? I'm basically growing the product. So another thing Carrywise recently did was the Money Duo, right? So Money Duo is basically a feature whereby you as a user of Carrywise can easily share and create a plan, right? A savings plan with your partner, right? That's one. The group challenge also is another one whereby you and your friends can basically create a group, right? Group savings plan with your friends and you all invest, right? And at the end of the vesting period, you get your returns, right? By doing all these different features and these different strategies, Carrywise are basically providing their users with delightful experiences, and they are also motivating them to share the product, right, and share those delightful experiences with others. That way, the product the product grows at a rate whereby new users are able to bring in more users, right, at a lower cost to Carrywise, right? That's one about Carrywise. I don't if you're following, please just just quickly type "okay" in the comment if you are still following up to this point, right? Bundle is another brilliant startup who has implemented multiple growth hacks across their system, right? An example would be when you log in, when you sign up on Bundle, right? You're basically, number one, you get, for every referral you make on Bundle, I think you get about, I don't know, is it 500 naira or 1,000 naira for every referral you make on Bundle. So that basically motivates you to want to bring in new people, right? And also when you join Bundle, when you sign up on Bundle, you get into a sort of raffle, right? A sort of raffle system whereby you win, I think up to, is it $5? I think you win up to about $5 for joining. But it's a raffle process. So yeah, it's basically also another gamification kind of process whereby users can easily join, right? Users join and they are motivated to take action on this on the app. So before you are drafted into the raffle, right? You have to have I think you have to have created your account. You create your account and also load some amount into your wallet, right? Then you can now join the raffle. Same way, good, awesome. So same way for um sorry. Same way for Bridge Club. So Bridge Club recently launched, and one thing they did well to bring in new users and drive growth for their community is basically by creating an invite-only system, just like Clubhouse, right? Whereby only a few users get to access. So for you to be able to get access to Bridge Club at the early stage, you have to, number one, you have to join a wait list, right? And number two, you would invite as many of your friends as possible to also join that wait list. That way, Bridge Club basically made their users, their people that join the community, to bring in others to within the community. So through a process of gamification, right? The more referrals you make, the more higher you go within the winning list, right? And I think it was the first 50 or first 100 people that were accepted to the community. So um, that's a brief rundown of all the different companies who have just examples of how different companies have basically leveraged the principles of growth hacking to drive growth for their startup and to basically bring in more users, right? Bring in new users and keep them right at a high scale to cost ratio. So if you're following up to this process, up to this point, I think I should give you a round of applause. All right. Anybody wants to just suggest based on your understanding of growth hacking now, suggest what growth hack you've maybe seen in any startup, either as an example, either similar to the examples I've mentioned, or even something completely different. If you're familiar with any, just drop your comments. Just drop within the comment section. Yep. So while I wait for others, right? These are recommended recommendations that you can read up on to be more familiar with the concept of growth hacking. So read about Lean Startup by Eric Ries, read about Hacking Growth by Sean Ellis, right? You can check the growthhackers.com website, and also you can check this link, which is a recap of a session that Growth Hackers Africa did with Ola Bin Joadin Nero of Future Africa on growth hacking. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. Right. We are going to make it. Right. And if you have questions, please, you can drop your questions in the comments. Victoria, over to you. Hi, Victoria.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay. So thank you very much, Olumide, for this amazing talk. I'm very sure we have all learned a lot about growth hacking today. So, Enola, I'll be sharing the slides on the group so you get access to it. Don't worry. If you have any questions for our speaker, please drop it in the comment section below. Yeah, thank you. Okay, but quick question, Olumide.
Yes.
So, like, growth hacking can only be applied to startups, right? Or generally?
Okay, so I think if you, while I was speaking, I mentioned business, startup, and basically any product. As long as a business startup, good hacking can be applied. An example would be Tesla, right? So Tesla, okay, well, I think Tesla honestly falls under the concept of a startup, right? Well, naturally, Tesla is more of the automobile, right? And one thing they did very early stage was actually to create a sort of wait list for their startups, for their products, like for people that want to buy a Tesla. They created a wait list, and they also created a sort of referral system whereby if you would get people to like purchase or pre-order Tesla, right, you get some percentage, I think was it percentage discount, or you get some commissions off it, right? So the concept of growth hacking is basically thinking is more of a mindset than say a career, right? Or you say it's more of a principle and a mindset. And so once you can apply the mindset to either your business, to either your company or your startup. What startup just why is mostly applied in startup is because startup provides that technical ability and technical capability to like implement different ideas, right? So there are different ways other businesses have basically leveraged growth hacking. So it's not only within startups alone. Normal businesses can leverage growth hacking.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. I guess nobody has any questions. So you can follow Dara of Growth on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as displayed on the screen. And we'll be having another episode of our GDSC-UI Tech Talk series next week, Friday, same time. So you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of those events. So, Olumide, do you have any last words of advice for
Well,
people that are
well, I think I won't say his last words, right? I'll not say his advice. I'll not say like a mantra, right? Like I say very well, like now God the wing users, right? You just dey try. So as a good at your work is to try and iterate and experiment across different things. But at the end of the day, like saying God the wing users on idea. So that's my last words.
okay? Thank you. Thank you so much, Olumide.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you for honoring our invite. Yeah, so same time, same day next week, guys. See you guys next week. Thank you for joining. Bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the GDSC-UI YouTube channel. See you next week. If you're among the first 5 people to join this YouTube session, don't forget to DM me on WhatsApp or signify on the group so you can get your prize. Bye, everyone.